guys, Diesel16 here, and welcome back. Starting today, Y19W38a is going to be our snapshot for this week. So, without further ado, let's get right into this new snapshot. Basically, we have a ton of changes between mid-June and now. And I actually never did a video on release 2.1 on 2.1, so I'm just gonna go over some changes last time. So basically, you still start off with this section. That's the first thing. Look behind; it's missing. Settings. Basically, get a wand. You may notice that I've added some more tags, made the enchantment effect. So, anyways, this is not where you spawn. Basically, I've modified the spawn section. So this is not where you're going to be spawning always. So, anyways. So yes. This map now defaults to the new hub. And I'm going to be checking some changes there. So like we added, we don't have access to the ministry. We do now have access to the Ministry of Magic. However, we still do not have access to the Leaky Cauldron because there have been some issues. So, what's next is that we're going to go, and basically what you're going to see, it says return to classic hub, and basically everything's normal. So basically, now I'm going back to the, basically I should mark my spawn point. So, anyway, so without further ado, let's get started. There's been a huge change in texture packs. And basically, we have a new addition in the building. It's Azkaban Prison. Although, just be warned, there's no interior. It's just the exterior. And basically, I've just added it. And basically, there is nothing in there. Other than it says like coming soon in the back of the entrance. So basically, it's just we're just getting started on this prison. So, anyways, I'm back at spawn now. So basically, the only change in the the new hub is basically finishing up the covering on this section. So yes, because of the season is fall, I've changed the foliage and the color maps. So yes, I've changed the gradients. So yeah, you can still get into the room requirement. That hasn't changed. Yeah, there's now a new function command. There's actually several new ones, and basically there's disable fire. That's for the room requirement in the DA2. There's you can enable and disable fluid power. You can get settings. You can access unused areas. The restock command gives you the fluid powder immediately. And yes, you can still clear it by just shift clicking while in the inventory. And if you excuse me, I've got to shut off that ambient sound. It's just getting annoying. So yes, you may notice. So we're actually gonna start with changes in Hogwarts because that's probably the most important. So basically, what you're gonna notice in the grand staircase is that with the entrance hall, I extended the thing back to its normal with the new style. So there will not be a teleportation command. Not anymore. Not a great hall, nothing has changed. Yeah, ignore the villagers, that's supposed to have a McGonagall texture on it, but for some reason there is a bug. There, I don't know why. So anyway, the viaduct, nothing has changed. And yes, the outside, there's like a new texture. So basically, many of the paths are now being changed to grass path. So like the path, the Bobax's carriage path has been changed. it now takes you, it's now a grass path. And yes, I even changed the grass path texture to have like a little fall texture. I actually created it several months ago, and I left it unused until the right time. So anyway, so yes, sorry about that. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So anyway, in the ground floor corridor, we actually have several new additions on the ground floor corridor, but we're going to start with the staff room. This was just added. It uses a redstone signal. So basically, I can just show you the circuitry. It's a bit compact. Basically, you just have an inverted repeat signal leading up to 2 repeaters, and then you have 2 redstone torches. They'll help keep it closed when the button is not pressed. So basically, it's one of the redstone signals. It's there for security to keep the students out. And of course, we have the 2 gargoyles, which are actually not gargoyles at all. So anyway, down the hall, and then in front, we actually added a couple new classrooms. Now, I actually added several, but we're going to start with the ground floor. We have the Spanish classroom, Habla Español. Basically, we have Señor Macho. Yeah, I just made up these names, by the way. There's really not a Spanish teacher, or a French teacher, or any foreign language study in Hogwarts. So yeah, now we go into the next room, French classroom 68, Madame Jean-Luc. Basically, it uses some of the old areas. So yes, and speaking of which, while we're there, we're gonna go up to the divination classroom. So I'm actually going to fly up this time. So anyway, the divination classroom has changed on its interior. It now is correct. It looks more like the divination classroom, whereas before it just stops and it's a flat ceiling. It was pretty annoying. Anyway, that's that. Yeah, so basically I'm going to be actually this is not a tutorial video, therefore I don't need to put it in survival. So yeah, not just like last year, not everything you see will be official. Sometimes I make modifications between the recording and when I actually release the updates. So just keep that in mind. And before we get too far, it requires Y19W38a. I'll let you know if it changes. So now let's talk about the grand staircase. We need to actually get into the grand staircase. I don't think we've done that much, other than that change right there. So basically, going up. Alright, never mind. Didn't mean to say that. So, let's get up. If I remember correctly, I think I did make a change in one of the floors. No, I didn't make a change in Dumbledore's office. Yeah, I've changed a majority of the textures. I changed a bunch of textures. So just keep that in mind, and we'll be flying for spectator. Basically, we're going to check the 4th floor and see if we've changed anything down here. Sure enough, I don't think we did. So, yes, the library, we're going to switch into the library now. We've made an addition, extended it to an older part of the library that used to be closed off and marked unused. Now that's no longer the case. So now, the viaduct entrance, walk down here for the ground floor corridor. I've actually made some fixes over here. There was a bug in 2.1. So, we're heading down the entire hall. And go to the end. Rusi Klasnaya Komnata. I think it's Russian classroom. See, yeah, it's the Russian classroom. It's a very new classroom I just added. It took me a few seconds just to pronounce that. Anyway, it has like some basic Russian, and then it has the pronunciation on the other. It's just like Привет, как дела? Хорошо, спасибо. Отлично, неплохо, плохо. Advances Auva at the end. So yeah, I just have to flip the pages because I'm learning Russian. Self-teaching, by the way, not actually taking the class. I'm just self-teaching this. So yes, on the first floor corridor, there's been some changes. I was able to extend the roof up. And yes, I was able to add a professor in one of the classrooms, whereas before it didn't have it. The bookshelf texture has a new the top models have the new textures. These apply to the Hogwarts torch blocks. It's able to modify the textures on that one in the block models. Oh, good grief. So anyway, a bug has been fixed when entering the Philosopher's Stone underground chambers. That sometimes you can actually be stuck. Now that's been fixed, and you no longer get stuck floor, and you don't have to move now. I was able to patch that bug. Alright, the Dark Tower, some of you may have noticed, but the Dark Tower is gone. I found it useless, and I was originally going to do something in it, but I left it there, and I was like, you know what? There's no use. I decided to remove it, so if you were wondering, the Dark Tower has been removed. So, next up, we gotta talk about the 4th floor. I was able to study, add a study area. I don't know why I said I was able to study, but I said I added a study area, 4th floor. You can now access the 3rd, 4th, and 5th floor in this part of the castle from the 1st floor now, so that's a new extension. And excuse that, this is just getting on my nerves. So basically, made some changes on the 5th floor. Yes, and I've re-added the ice vault. So this is the icy corridor. It says cursed vault of ice. Then yes, you're like, dead end. No. Grab a button. So yeah, basically, once you find the correct button and press it, and find the correct spot and press the button, the piston door would open. So basically, I'll show you the circuitry in a few seconds. So basically, this is the cursed vault right there. So now for the redstone circuitry, it's really that simple. I'll actually go into another world and show you the actual circuitry that I did. Be right back. So anyway, here's my redstone circuitry that I did for that piston door. So basically, not that simple, except I did slap some pressure plates as an earlier model. So basically, this lower piston would retract when you walk over. When it opens, the lower piston under here retracts itself, so basically let's see it in its closed position. So basically the piston is extended. So basically when I walk over the pressure plates, the lower piston retracts. And basically then the blue ice in the center, stuck on by slime blocks, would be moved up by 2 blocks, therefore creating an opening. And now you can close it, and basically it just does that. So basically there's the circuitry right there. So basically a bunch of basic stuff. It took me like over an hour to figure out where to put each block, because it was so difficult to do a double piston extender, especially one that goes down, but eventually I was able to figure it out using an observer. And yes, these are my drafts of these double piston extenders. They never worked. It took me quite a while before I was able to figure out which one to use. So, anyways, that was the circuitry I'm going to show you in that regard. Going back to Hogwarts now. Anyways, that was the circuitry that you saw. So now let's go back out the cursed vault and let's keep it going. Let's keep going on this project. We got a lot to do, so yes, I'm running macOS Mojave, in case you were wondering. I'm not running High Sierra anymore like I did in the previous Hogwarts video, which I believe was release 2.0. Other than that vlog, which was on Minecraft Pocket Edition 1.12. But other than that, I'm currently on Y19W38a. That's the Java Edition snapshot for Java Edition 1.15. And now let's go to the next section, the West Tower. There was a hotfix on that I forgot to do at the end of last year. I didn't realize I forgotten to do the West Tower. I didn't really think. I thought I already did that by the time I was doing development. I realized I had forgotten to redesign it. So basically, here's the West Tower. It now matches the style of the other parts of the castle, so that's a good sign. The interior actually is redesigned, but not the entire way. Basically, you have like a little section where all the owls go, and you go up this spiral staircase. You came up with that design, by the way. And then you get Flitwick's office, which basically has the Ravenclaw banners like you see in a Ravenclaw common room. It has a bed, a chest, a lampstand. It has like a little desk for Flitwick to write papers and all that stuff. And yeah, and there's like a ton of bookshelves. So yeah, basically, it says just coming soon. Just wait till a future snapshot. Because in the next snapshot, not 38A, Y19W38a, but Y19W39a possibly, I'm going to finish this West Tower. So, yeah, I started this project from the first day on, so yes, and with the 1.15 snapshot introducing bees, I decided to add some beehives. Although there are actually no bees in there, I didn't support them yet, but I will be supporting them soon. So, don't you worry about it. They will be supported very soon. See, I'm just checking in Hagrid's hut. Yes, and just outside of Hagrid's hut, I've added a little beehive. Right now there's like no honey in there. So yeah, just don't be alarmed. So anyway, there has been some new game rules set. Basically, the instant respawn is now set to true, so whenever you do /kill at P, you, instead of seeing the respawn screen, you don't have to use the respawn screen. Instead, you just get teleported right back here. This is your spawn point, unless if you have classic mode on. So, we're gonna go back to the classic hub now. I can't remember if I made a bunch of changes. Yes, we're going to Hogsmeade next. That's what I was gonna say. So anyway, Hogsmeade, there's been a bunch of renovations. We closed down a shop for renovation. You're actually going to see that. The free broomsticks has been renovated, although the bedrooms have been removed. What makes up part of it is basically you have outside tables for more space, so that's actually great. And yes, the secret entrance is a bit different now. Yes, you have a bit of a barrel. You have to, like, crawl. So, yeah, that's why it doesn't... This is the reason why it doesn't support 1.12, by the way. In case you were wondering, things like this, what I'm showing you, it has, like, the little crawl space feature that requires 1.14 or later. That's why. Otherwise, if you have, like, 1.12, you're going to have a tough time navigating through secret areas. So, yeah, that's the main reason why I don't support that. Dervish and Banks is under renovation, so it's closed. So you're gonna see that message. It's a developer notice. Like I said, like you read at the beginning, birch signs are developer notices. So in case you forgot, that's what they are. So yes, I still have that Village and Pillage bell feature, but that's actually pretty interesting to note. I did populate some more trees on the hill in front of Hogsmeade. That actually added some mega spruce trees in the process. Switch. And I think I did make a change in the Bo Baxton's carriage. Basically, it now correctly has capitalization, and I added cyan flour. Actually, it's still called cornflower for some reason, but it's supposed to be called cyan flour. I don't know if I'll fix that. So, anyways, I don't know if I made any changes elsewhere, but did make some technical changes, did change the version, and yeah, build number is now 4N2XZ8A. That's the new build number for release 3.0 Snap 3.0 itself. I don't know how many snapshots there's going to be released, but I will link the calendar subscription into the description below, where on iCloud device, Apple devices, and only Apple devices. This includes Macs, Mac OS, iOS, and iPad OS. Don't forget that. So anyway, if you have one of those devices, you are able to receive notifications. If not, check the wiki. I have set dates on Snapshot dates, and I did glitch a bit on the ceiling. I don't know how I did that. So yes, I did make a change down in this corridor. Oh, excuse me, before I even think about it. You can now access the hedge maze from inside the castle now. You don't have to go to the classic hub. And yeah, it'll just teleport you straight to the hedge maze. So that's actually a very cool feature. Yeah, it actually uses this design from release 1.0. Which was when Casperson was building it, so... Now I've re-added this staircase, which was built by Casperson as well. Able to restore some things. I've changed some of the styles here, from like fence and slab to stairs, dark oak stairs and birch slab. It actually makes it look better, and it makes it look much nicer on a nicer scale. So, I don't know if that's it yet, but chances are still some more to do, so... Yeah, I did change Filch's office. I was able to upgrade it. It looked all ugly, so I've updated the office. Mrs. Norris is now sitting on the table. Yes, I was still able to get access to the Marauders map. So... I don't know what happens next. But, I'm thinking. So yes, just a notice, in release 2.10 I fixed a nasty bug where if you teleport to a certain coordinate, then it'll pretty much just make you stuck in a teleport loop, and it's pretty annoying. That's now fixed in release 2.1.0, so just a heads up on that one in case you were wondering. Yeah, in the classic hub. Back in the classic hub. Yes, it's now named Grand Staircase. It was Marble Staircase and it wasn't correct, so I was able to fix that. So, actually great. I just don't remember if I made any changes. Yeah, Grimo Place, I think I made a couple of modifications in there. I can't remember. No, it started since the first day of school. So, it makes it pretty interesting. Like, I started when the first school was back on. So, it's kind of hard for me to estimate. Yeah, we got the, Lucina Cafe, and yes, I didn't want to spoil this out, but if you walk through this painting, you actually hit the Department of Magical Law Enforcement Precinct, which is actually just something. It's because I just wanted to have some fun, basically, some fun development during the development stage. So, but want to have fun, just mess around. Yeah, and Gringotts Wizarding Bank, I've changed the message. With the Lestrange Vault, it says the Lestrange Vault will come in a later snapshot for release 3.0. And I think that might be all the feature. Oh, nope. We got one more feature, and it's rather important. So basically, you know, for all of release 2.0, the only language supported is English. Now it's French. French is officially supported, but you have to make sure you click Francais French region, not Canadian French, but French. And basically, we now support French. So basically, what that means is that, yes, it is through Google Translate, because I'm not typing this whole thing up in another language, because that takes a lot of time. And I can modify it through the language. So basically, this is what you're getting. So basically, it's like Cate de Pollard, Projet Ultimate Ensemble de Ressources. That is basically what it says right there. It's like done. Yeah, some of these are broken, some of the translations are broken, so just be careful. Yeah, but the text in English, but the resource pack language can now be supported in French. So, yeah, that includes blocs décoratifs or moyens de transport, or flèche, herbeau, or peg noir, or pantalon, or many of those stuff like trident, like pierre de resurrection stone. Or the elite tried, nothing changed. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna show you some stuff like that. So, like, advancements, like, catalog complete, for a complete catalog. Like, adventure, like, quelle affaire, or something like that. So I do speak French. I'm on, like, a level 3. This one I'm not being self-taught for French. I'm actually taught in class for it, so just don't ask me where I got it. Basically, like, emerald or pocha cru, poulet cru. So basically, like the finesse on Monsieur Sub mode, de le libre. That's, I think that's free play. That's what you get. So basically, yeah, yet again, like I said, this was generated through the document Google Translate document function, so not all translations will be 100% accurate. So, if you notice some translation error, please let me know on where it is. Just tell me like the source code or something, like the source of the text, and then I can easily locate and fix that. Or you can just tell me the error and just tell me what it should be. I use Apple Dictionary to correct some things, but not all of it. So, if you notice anything, just let me know. An email through PMC chat or in the comments below. I'm really pleased to help you fix some of those issues. So basically, that's all on the language, and that's everything on the project. So that ends this video. Au revoir, or goodbye. Diesel 16 signing out right now.